Washington, and I'm with the group MomsRising, so I'm not speaking as an expert, but I'm speaking as a mother. I'm very fortunate because I have two healthy daughters, one who just handed you those booklets about asthma, and the other one is 6. As I see it, my job as a mother is to make sure that they stay healthy, and to that end, I do everything within my power to do. I buy organic food, I read the labels on our personal care products to avoid certain chemicals. I make very careful choices, but yet I strongly suspect that all of those things that I'm doing don't add up to much if the air that they're breathing all day, every day, is not clean. And it's deeply frustrating to me as a mother that I don't have control over that. That's one of the things that I have no control over. So I need to depend on the government, I need to depend on the EPA to do those things. And about the only thing I can do is be here today talking to you, and that's why I'm here. But after I leave the room, it's all to you guys. And I need you to make the right decision. All of us need you to put our children ahead of the industrial lobbyists. And I know that that's easier said than done, but that's what has to happen. It's important for my kids and for all kids, and as mothers, we tend to really focus on the children because that's where our hearts are, and that also, frankly, resonates with people. But it's not only the children that are affected by this. Senior citizens are also disproportionately affected by pollutants in the air, so that's our parents, the older generation, as well as all of us. I mean, nobody is immune from that. But just to go briefly back to the kids, I don't expect the government to love my kids, but I do expect the government to protect my kids because, as I see it, that's why they're here. And as ordinary citizens, we depend on the government to do that and to look out for our best interests, not for the industry's best interests, but for the people's best interests. So I'm asking you to please do that by supporting the carbon pollution standard, or even a step further in strengthening the standards for carbon pollution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And our final speaker for lunch is Marianne. This
is Tatiana. She's 4 years old. So my name is Marianne, and I'm also here with MomsRising. Anne is a Latina, to ask you to support the carbon pollution standard. I strongly support these new standards and commend the EPA for protecting our kids and families from dangerous air pollution. That's your job, protect basic homes. Tatiana has been very fortunate. She has no symptoms of asthma. But I'm here also because of her older sister, Marianne. Marianne is also commonly known as Abby, and she was diagnosed with asthma just at the age of 2. So imagine a little 2-year-old on this medication. Abby is now 7 years old and in 1st grade. Right now, she's taking this medication every day. This is just her control medication. When she's sick, like when she has a cold or another respiratory infection, she has to take this or this, because most likely some type of antibiotic. Last year, Abby missed 5 weeks of kindergarten because of her asthma, and she had to remain inside her braces for several more days. She couldn't go outside because of the cold. This year has been a bit sad. She's only been sick for 4 weeks of school. If you don't have a close relative who's asthmatic, it's probably difficult to understand the toll, emotionally, financially, and physically, that the illness can take on the entire family. As a family, we try to do everything we can in our power to combat this disease. She eats gluten-free foods, we avoid dairy and processed foods, and she even practices aromatherapy. My husband also tried to do everything, and he encapsulated our crawl space by himself to see if that would prevent some of her attacks. out of every 2 Latinos lives in the country's top 25 most ozone-polluted cities, and Hispanic children are 60% more likely to have asthma as compared to non-Hispanic whites. As a parent, I would like to protect my daughter and control the asthma attacks, but some things like the weather I cannot control. The extreme temperature variations that we saw here in the spring were really hard on my daughter's lungs. We should definitely be doing everything possible to make our air as clean as possible, and the very idea of not doing it, of not using the best technologies that we have and setting pollution standards that put public health first makes absolutely no sense to me, nor does it make sense to the millions of moms across this nation. As a mother and a